say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please remain standing. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You can now sit.
Good morning. Welcome to the Osage County R2 Veterans Assembly. My name is Hope Wolf. It is my pleasure to be your MC for today's event. Today we are here to honor those brave men and women who have served our great nation and protected American freedom. Thomas Jefferson once said, "The price of freedom is eternal vigilance." These soldiers have remained courageous in the long fight for freedom, not just in America, but around the world as well. In 1918, World War I came to an end with the Allies and German forces reached an armistice on the 11th day of the 11th month at the 11th hour. That day became a national holiday, known as Armistice Day, to commemorate the end of what was known at the time, the War to End All Wars. In 1947, 2 years following the end of World War II, U.S. Representative Edward H. Reese of Kansas initiated legislation changing Armistice Day to Veterans Day to honor all soldiers that have served in any American war. In 1954, President Dwight D. Eisenhower signed into the law the bill that names November 11th as Veterans Day. He stated, "On that day, let us solemnly remember the sacrifices of all those who fought so valiantly on the seas, in the air, and on foreign shores to preserve our heritage of freedom, and let us reconsecrate ourselves to the task of promoting and enduring peace, so that our efforts shall not have been in vain." Now our choir will sing.
Army!
First we fight for the right and to build the nation's might, and the army goes rolling along. Proud of all we have done, fighting till the battle's won, and the army goes rolling along. Then it's hi, hi, hey, the army's on its way. Count off the cadence loud and strong. 2, 3, 4, hut, 2, 3, 4, wherever we go. You will always know that the army goes rolling along. From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli, we will fight our country's battles in the air, on land and sea. First we fight for rights and freedom, and to keep our honor clean. We are proud to claim the title of United States Marines.
Coast Guard.
We're always ready for the call. We place our trust in Thee.
Through howling gale
And shot and shell to win the victory. Sympathize is our guide. We're always ready, do or die. Like Coast Guard, we fight for you. Anchors away, my boys. Anchors away. Farewell to college joys. We sail at break of day, 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 day. Through our last night on shore. Hail to the foam, until we meet once more. Here's wishing you a happy voyage home.
Air Force.
Off we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun.
Here they
Here they come to meet our thunder. Madam boys, give her the gun. Down we dive, starting our flame from under. Off with one terrible roar. We live in fame, we'll go down in flame, for nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force. America, America, God shed His grace on thee. Oh, beautiful for heroes moved in liberating strife, who more than self their country love, and mercy more than life. America, America,
Chaplain Captain Reverend Fred Smith served in the U.S. Army, being stationed in 4 different states over 9 years, from 1985 to 1994. He was deployed to Desert Storm and served a year-long hardship tour in South Korea. He has been a United Methodist minister for over 40 years and has served his community and country with dignity, humility, and pride. Please help me in welcoming Chaplain Captain Reverend Fred Smith.
Who is a veteran? It's someone who has served our country in one of the branches of our military: Army, Air Force, Navy, Marines, Coast Guard. Who is a veteran? I am a veteran. As you've heard, I served as an Army chaplain for 9 years. I served in Colorado, served over in South Korea, served in the Big Red 1, 1st Infantry Division, Fort Riley, Kansas. And by the way, if you're going to be one, be a Big Red 1. Who is a veteran? It could be your grandfather, your grandmother, your mom, your dad, your brother, your sister, your aunts, your uncles. It could be your friends. And someday it may be some of you that will serve in our military and become a veteran. As you encounter on this Veterans Day, as you encounter veterans, stop and say thank you for your service. It has not always been a pleasure to be in the service. Sometimes in the history of our nation, there's been a disagreement over the use of military force. But one of the things I want to share is the fact that if you disagree with the use of our military forces, you need to contact your congressman, your president, but don't take it out on the service members. We do not send ourselves into combat. We are sent by our Congress and by the president. We are given a mission and we go do that mission. So appreciate the service that your veterans have given. And for those of you who may one day be a veteran yourself, I would encourage you to give serious thought. It's not a bad life. In fact, I don't know, if you're 18 or 19 years old, it's not such a bad life. You get you get lodging, you get food, you get your uniform, and you get this money, you get a salary. Used to kind of hit me when I would see myself driving my little Honda Civic wagon, and I'd see some private driving a Firebird Trans Am, because he or she had a lot of money and they didn't have to worry about paying rent or buying food or whatever. It's a good life. I wish that I could have stayed in it longer, but they passed me over for promotion to major and offered me money to leave. So, on this Veterans Day, I hope that you will honor and respect the veterans who have provided service to our country, kept our country free. Thank you.
Thank you, Chaplain Smith. Now our band will play. Each year, students in our language classrooms have the opportunity to express their love for our country through writing. This year, Mr. Dan Schaefer and Mrs. Jerry Rackers are here to present the winners of the Voice of Democracy and Patriots Pen essay. Mr. Schaefer and Mrs. Rackers.
This year's second place for the Patriots Pen is Bria Kemper. And first place goes to Emma Yeagers. And I want to thank everybody for participating.
I'd like to thank everybody, all the students and the faculty that puts this on, and also Mr. Bob James back there in the back row. He's a veteran. He ought to be in the front row instead of sitting way in the back. You only can do that in church. Also, I'd like to thank Lena Hunt for doing these portraits of some of the veterans. Only ones that he did portraits was the ones that come to our meetings. So if you missed a meeting, you missed out on a portrait. So it's important to go to the meetings. Okay, I want to thank the students that participate in the Voice of Democracy essays. Even if you don't win, if you put an essay in, I want to thank everybody that participate, and I'd like to give them a round of applause. Okay, the third place winner was Tristan Deacon. He gets $50 and a bronze medal. Second place winner was Evan Grillner. He gets $100 and a gold medal, a silver medal. First place winner was Xavier Cano. He gets $150 and a gold medal. Thank you, all the students.
Xavier Knoll will now read his winning essay.
Freedom is expressed in ways that can turn the tide of the entire world. I do order and declare that all persons held as slaves within said designated states and parts of states are and henceforward shall be free. Abraham Lincoln said this in the Emancipation Proclamation and made this forever the essence of freedom. When it comes to American democracy, some of us take it for granted. Democracy itself has been the building block of most growing countries. Since the beginning of the U.S., people have looked for a government that would listen to the people and govern what is right and just. Abraham Lincoln suggests that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that the government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from this earth. Lincoln used the idea of a democratic government to encourage the veterans of the Civil War. I believe American democracy has its strengths, but for every strength there is a weakness, like freedom of association, speech, and assembly. Freedom of association is a broad topic, like freedom of speech. Freedom of association is the right to organize among themselves to express, promote, and pursue the common good. That is technically how the government wants us to use freedom of association. Some people use freedom of association how it was intended, such as the different trade unions. The unions came together to express, promote, and pursue the common good of the different workforces. James Baldwin states, "Freedom is not something that anybody can be given. Freedom is something that people take, and people are as free as they want to be." Freedom of association is a broad topic, as previously stated. People can use this right for good, or they can find loopholes in it, such as many have before. Freedom of speech is also a broad topic like freedom of association. It is meant to help the common people and to allow the citizens of the United States to speak out freely against tyranny and dictatorship if our government were to be corrupted. Although there are many people who use this freedom for the wrong reason, George Washington claims, "If freedom of speech is taken away, then dumb and silent we may be led like sheep to the slaughter." Washington uses the example of sheep to the slaughter because he came from a monarchy with a dictator's ideals, and in the monarchy, citizens did not have a say. But when he came to the U.S., he wanted to change. Freedom of speech can be used negatively as much or more than it can be used positively. When people use freedom of speech the right way, like the students in Tinker versus Des Moines, 1969, the students wore black armbands to protest the war. Others, though, use it to demoralize others and break down organizations they do not like, or they spread false news against different influential people. Freedom of assembly is not as broad as the rest of the different freedoms we are granted as American citizens. When it comes to the freedom of assembly, there are so many good examples that it's hard to point out the flaws in it. But just like all the other freedoms, there is error. The freedom of assembly is useful and a good thing to have, but it takes courage. Louis D. Brandt once said, "It is the function of speech to free men from the bondage of irrational fear." There are many different examples of freedom of assembly in our government, like Congress itself. The House and the Senate is an assembly of people who make and refine laws. Freedom of assembly also allows us to protest. Allowing the people to protest is a good and bad thing. Like freedom of association, it can be manipulated. Freedom and democracy go hand in hand. There are many freedoms that we are allowed, but they have their pros and cons. Freedom of speech, when used by the right person, can be influential and groundbreaking at times, but some people abuse this power.
Thank you, Xavier. Now Emma Yeagers will read her essay.
America inspires me to be a great citizen and human, to work hard, and to never give up. If America's veterans hadn't fought for our freedom, America could have possibly been overthrown. If America had been overthrown, I probably wouldn't be here. And if I was, my life definitely wouldn't be what it is now. Since the veterans and military fought for my freedom and still fight for my freedom, I live the life I love and want. The veterans fought for my very life. I've been inspired by the people who fought for my country, their history, and America's history to be the best person I can be as a human and as a citizen of the United States of America. America's history of battles like World War I, World War II, and the Korean War, as well as other wars and battles, have inspired me, and hopefully other United States citizens. The men and women who fought in these wars for America have inspired me to be a better person. These people fought for my life and deserve to be recognized for what they've done for the United States and also for what they've sacrificed. The veterans have been the saviors of me and America. I greatly appreciate their contributions. It means a lot to me. America has inspired me to do many things for the earth and my fellow American citizens. I always try to find the good in others. I know we are all in this together. I try to keep the earth clean by recycling and not littering. I've been able to plant trees and plants for the bees. We even grow tomatoes every year. I also try not to waste the resources that can dry up at any moment.
Our elementary students will now perform. This concludes our assembly. Thank you for coming.